Okay guys, we need to talk. No gaming right now. What kind of year did we just witness? So I guess there is no better time to react to the top 5 events for every month this year. So yeah, subscribe.
So yeah, the 5th most memorable event, I think, in January was the beef between TikTok and the Universal Music Group. I'm sure everyone know what TikTok is, but probably not UMG. Basically, think of any mainstream artist or music. Now, whatever you're thinking they or it are probably dist abutted by UMG. So yeah, they are big. This month TikTok has just been beaten down by everybody and their grandmother, so UMG, rightfully so, wanted to get their licks in as well. UMG claims TikTok would not adequately address issues with artist compensation, user safety and the rapidly growing AI-generated music. Let me break it down so you guys can understand. TikTok was treating artists like child laborers, leaking out your likes, you know the ones you don't want anybody seeing, to the mafia, and making Kendrick sound like Lady Gaga or something. Yeah, pretty bad, but those allegations were just the beginning for TikTok. All I have to say is that whoever is behind the Stanley Cup marketing is a genius. I did not even hear about the cup since people started to come into class with it. Next thing I knew, all the girls had it. I mean, come on. It's just a cup. A cup, and people were raving over it like it was Bitcoin or something. Come to think of it, I remember a similar trend back in middle school that dealt with hydro flasks. Bro, you couldn't scroll on TikTok without someone saying SSSSKSSSKSSSKS. Our society must be screwed in the head for buying something because our favorite influencer bought it, with the exception of Strawberry Park. If you know, you know. Just go on same way with your $2 cup from Dollar Tree, it's not that big of a deal. Speaking about prices, Stanley Cups are insane. No amount of, we use quality materials, excuses the fact that ain't no way I'm buying a $60 cup. Okay, this one is huge. The U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee gathered the world's largest tech CEOs, including Discord, Meta, Snap, TikTok, and X. Apparently they never implemented SAFTA features to protect kids from sexual exploitation online. They pinned all the kids' actions on the CEOs and called it their fault, which I kind of see. But kids have their own minds. If they don't want more EDP scenarios, then the kids will have to learn themselves not to search for the no content. One of the more memorable comments in the trial was when a senator asked the TikTok CEO like 7 times if he was a Chinese commie. Yet he is Singaporean. I don't really know much about the Japanese moon landing, but it was really cool. They became the 5th country to land a spacecraft on the moon. Even though it existed just to record geological data, somehow the Japanese came up with the tough name Moon Sniper. There was however a miscalculation when the spacecraft landed on its nose and it had to be shut off. I mean, it's probably evident I don't know much about Japan except for anime. For some reason Elon Musk decided to invest in a brain implant startup. And he successfully put a chip in subject Nolan Arbaugh's brain which allows him to control computers with his brain. I don't know how he did it, but that's like cyberpunk type shit. And then something bad happened. Some threads from the chip loosened from his brain, causing him to die. JK, it just reduced the speed of the chip, which who cares? His abilities include controlling a mouse on a computer, and surprisingly, controlling a mouse. I don't know about you, but I'll stick to cranking 90s manually. Sony Music Group decided to buy Michael Jackson's catalog for $600 million. It was actually just half. This is the richest transaction ever for a single musician's work, breaking Sony's previous record of $550 million for Bruce Springsteen's catalog in 2021. MJ's mother tried to hinder the transaction, saying it would go against Michael's wishes. But the judge didn't care. I think that was a great move on Sony's part. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want to own some of the king's greatness? This is no laughing matter. So King Charles of Great Britain decided to up and get cancer. He is already weak and frilier than Queen Elizabeth. This cancer might just do him in. You already when he kicks the bucket, Twitter is going to blow up. When Elizabeth died, countless memes were posted of her dancing and stuff. You know the ones. My profile picture for a while was Kobe crossing up Elizabeth on the floor of the stairway to heaven. It was peak. I can't imagine what people would do with Charles. He is going to catch all kinds of disrespect. Yeah! I don't listen to Joe Rogan, but he must be doing something right. This podcaster signed a multi-year deal with Spotify for $250 million, including the boring stuff like revenue sharing, more shares on YouTube and Apple Podcast, and distribution. This sets a record obviously, for the most BS. Sorry, I meant the most expensive deal for a podcaster. Despite being American, I am not a football fanatic, but you can't argue this year's Super Bowl was interesting. You always judge Super Bowls by their halftime shows, cause let's be real here. I know some of you guys watch just for the show. Usher took the stage this year with a decent performance. Alicia Keys did fine as well. The other artist, I feel like, were not necessary. What kind of name is will.i.am? But the main event was centered on the Chiefs. Spectacular if I say so myself. Back-to-back wins is crazy. We are all, however, for the Lamar performance in 2025. Can't say I'm shocked about this one. Trump is fined $345 million for fraud to inflate his net worth. He was banned from having business in New York. His sons were fined $4 million apiece as well. His accomplices, Alan Weiss-Selberg and Jeffrey McKinney, were barred from owing New York company for 3 years. By the way, Trump also had to pay $100 million in interest. Meaning not even the richest people can escape interest. So don't think you can run away with your $2 credit card debt. They will find you. The real ones should know who this person is. A legend, Akira Toriyama died the 1st of this month and 68. He will go down in history as the greatest manga creators of all time. This was pre-Solo Leveling, pre-Dr. Stone, pre-Sword Art Online, even pre-One Piece. He was the man behind Dragon Ball. Yes, the Goku anime. Props to all the young kids out there doing Kamehameha. Rest in peace. I'm positive no one saw this coming. Right? The House passed a bipartisan bill that would force TikTok's Chinese owner to sell the video app or ban it in the US. TikTok posed security risks to the U.S., mainly meddling in elections. But do you really believe the 170 million U.S. users will get rid of their brain rot dump app? Vladimir Putin recently won another 6 terms in power, meaning, assuming he doesn't die, he will outlast Joseph Stalin. Stalin ruled over the Soviet Union for 29 years. You might be wondering how one person could stay in power for so long. Well, we are talking about Russia here. If you think Putin wins these elections fairly, asks his opponents. Oh wait, you can't. Do I really got to explain this one? He was already the GOAT. LeBron James scored his 40,000th point against the Nuggets, a first in NBA history. You already know the Laker had to call a timeout so LeBron could receive his praise. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had to move aside for the king. Hey LeBron, if you're watching this.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
Cheers. The rap civil war. A lot of bogus spewed by Drake. Okay, basically, different artists like Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick got into a fight because of a diss by Lamar about Drake and J. Cole on Metro and Future's song Like That. A bunch of fans became divided over some BS that ended with Drake being a sore loser. This will definitely go down in history. Okay. I know. Taylor Swift. But hear me out. She jumped in front of Rihanna to become the world's richest female musician at a $1.6 billion. Solely on music. I mean, come on. With all my classmates saying they had to pay 100s for tickets and were gone every other week during the Eras tour, it was to be expected. I mean, props to her. I still remember Shake It Off being played back at recess in elementary school. Okay. O.J. Simpson. I really don't remember his football career or care to. But we all remember his arrest. I could not get through my feed without seeing something about O.J.'s murder cases. And somehow this man came out scot-free. This trial of the century of 126 witnesses, 1,000 items of evidence and 45,000 transcripts was thrown in the rubbish bin. How he got away, we will never know. Rest in secrecy. Oh no, more Taylor Swift. She breaks yet another record this month when she releases The Tortured Poets Department, which I think is a banger name. It sold something like 2 million units in the first week. I know. Crazy. And 14 of the songs reached Billboard's Top 100, breaking another record. I for one was forced to listen to the album the day it released, and I thought Fortnite was the best song. It so happens that others threw it so too. It lead the pack at number 1. Well, bravo Swift. Tesla had to recall tons of Cybertrucks for a major issue. For some reason the trucks manufactured from November to April had a malfunction with the gas pedal, causing users to accelerate uncontrollably. I mean, come on, it's a car company. They should know how gas pedals work. Before Elon implants any more chips in people, he needs to properly put gas pedals in cars. Good thing it only affected all of the 3,000 Cybertruck owner. Me personally, it looks like something a 5-year-old would carve from metal, but that's just me. This is a historic event for America. Donald Trump becomes the first former president to go on criminal trial. I think everyone knows the details, but here's the recap. Trump gives hush money payments to an adult actress before the 2016 election to boost his chances. That in itself isn't illegal. What is the falsified business records to keep out information that could hurt his campaign. Ladies and gents, we have hit rock bottom. This is what puts my man Diddy on the radar. For no reason he is shown beating his girlfriend, back in 2016. I mean, come on. Don't tell me you weren't expecting this. Mr. Diddy Party himself. He will go down in history. And yes, for the freaks out there, I'm getting to the goods. Putin begins his journey as longest leader of Russia, inaugurated this month. He is like the annoying boss you just can't get rid of. Russia becomes more controlled and hostile than ever. Surprise. Mustard on that beat. This needs no explanation. But here's one anyway. Kendrick Lamar releases the ultimate diss track against Drake. It became the anthem of the West Coast, seeping its way across American culture. It reached Billboard's Hot 100 at the number 1 spot. It even peaked number 20 in Australia. Yeah, the Down Under. Clearly Drake is not like us. This is certainly a trip down memory lane. The famous Doge Dog dies. Yes, the meme one and the one on that crypto coin and the Roblox avatar one. What can I say, he will always be a legend in the meme community. Peace my friend, you were a good boy. Another historic record for Mr. Trump. New York jurors convicted Trump of 34 felony accounts of falsified records in relation to the adult actress thing. First time a sitting or former American president has criminal charges. All of the invoices, checks, and ledgers led Trump to his demise. AI pictures of Trump in jail started to circulate. Yet, he still was run-in for president. Surely a criminal cannot become a president. This is a dub for America. Finally, Biden, under pressure, actively tries to secure our border. This has been long awaited. Immigrants have been swarming the country with the lax patrol laws. Videos were circulating the media of Mexican border hopping. I'm all for immigrants here legally, but border hopping crossed the line. And to save his own behind, Biden pushes to secure the border. Yo, women's rights. Claudia Sheinbaum becomes the first Mexican female president. She literally had no competition and won in a landslide. She now has to face cartel problems and national deficit. Oh yeah, she has a doctorate. Basketball Hall of Famer, Jerry West, dies at 86. You might be wondering why I included him on this list. Well, check the stats. He got 25,000 points overall, lead the Lakers to the NBA Finals 9 times, was a 12-time All-NBA selection, was the NBA Finals MVP, and still lost. He also coached Abdul-Jabbar, Curry, KD, and Klay Thompson. He was just an all-around great guy. Did I mention the NBA symbol was made after him? Let me tell you, once I started to watch this legendary debate, I felt embarrassed for Biden. Joe Biden aged like 100 more years, and could make coherent statements. His brain wandered away into La La Land. Trump's statements were horrible, but the spotlight was on Sleepy Joe. One good blow could do him in. This was by far the worst presidential debate in history. Now for a little achievement in business history. Nvidia becomes the most valuable company in the world at $3.34 trillion, surpassing Microsoft at $3.32 trillion. You guys already know the increase was due to the PC gamers buying the 4090s. But, Nvidia has gone through strides with AI this year. Anyway, props to you. Paris Olympic Games kicked off this month. It's always a joy to see the Olympics. Many athletes showed up and conquered the games. 32 different records were broken. My boy Noah Lyles became the fastest man in the world. By a hair. And the whole thing kept entertaining by the duo of Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg. Honestly, it was refreshing. John Cena announced his retirement from WWE in the ring. He was a wrestling champion and legend. My heart goes out to all the homies doing Cena moves on classmates. You will always be in our hearts. The ring won't be the same without you. This was a real blow. It doesn't matter what tastes you have in music, Eminem is a legend. Slim Shady has been his alter ego since 1999 and has appeared in some of his songs. His persona was blown out of proportion into a real character. Slim Shady was even in Fortnite, so it must be a big deal. Rest in peace. After the horrible performance during the presidential debate, Joe Biden steps down from the election, and endorses VP Kamala Harris right away. This was the smartest thing he could have done, but it might have been a little too late. Harris had to distinguish herself from Biden and create entirely new policies to fight Trump's. But Biden will officially be a one-term president. This is huge. Trump might be a bum, but he didn't deserve this. At a Pennsylvania rally, Thomas Crooks fired 8 rounds from the roof of a building, hitting Trump in the ear, and killing someone else. He was then killed by Secret Service seconds later. Yet, Trump took that in stride. Photographer, Evan Vucci captured Trump's fist in the air, yelling "Fight." My thing is, how did agents not see one guy setting up a sniper on the few buildings in the area? Other people thought so too, and the director of Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle, stepped down. This is what America has come to. Donald Trump appears yet again breaking a record. He appeared on Aiden Ross's stream as the first sitting or former president to be featured in a live stream. And I'm sure we all know who Aiden Ross is. The racial slur guy, the banned from Twitch guy, the Andrew Tate guy. This will no doubt be the peak of streaming software kick at 580,000 viewers. National Public Data said there was a massive data breach which involved the social security numbers of every American. Yet 2.9 billion records was out in the open. Cybercriminal organization USDD tried to sell data for $3.5 million on the dark web. So yeah. I bet you guys didn't even know this happened. Your identity could have been stolen. Someone could be in jail using your name. Or white vans could pull up to your house right now. The government has one job, to protect the people. Now, little Jimmy knows what I did on August 21st and 3:30 p.m. For the best reason in the world. Cristiano Ronaldo creates the fastest growing YouTube channel in history. The legendary football player gained 1.6 million subscribers in the first 90 minutes, 10 million subs by the end of the day, and a whopping 50 million subs by the end of the week. I remember the news of Ronaldo's channel spreading like wildfire. Sui. As a result of the feud between Musk and Brazilian court judge Alexander de Moraes, Twitter, or X, is formally banned in Brazil for political disinformation. I mean, come on, what did he expect? Twitter thrives on disinformation. What's crazy is those Twitter people who used VPNs to access Twitter got fined $9,000. Yeah. We are back with the Olympics. The Paris 2024 Olympics ends with 32 records broken. There were many memorable events. The hip-hop dancing event was a new one this year. It felt out of place though. There was a judo thing where some French guy got kicked in the nuts. Finally, the most talked about event was the shooting. Yeah, another weird artist choice for me, but hey, Sabrina Carpenter accomplished some things. Her album Short and Sweet really brought her into the spotlight. 2 of her sings hit Billboard Global 200. 1 hit the UK singles chart at number 1. All of her 12 songs hit top charts in 18 countries. She is really an all-around type of girl. This is the trailer no one was expecting or wanted. Minecraft has been out for ages and now they decide to make a movie. Minecraft's whole thing is supposed to be blocky and no, they have a movie with humans. At least make it animated or something. The only saving grace seems to be Jack Black playing Steve. For my childhood and The Saki of Minecraft, I hope it goes well. Honestly, I forgot about this guy. Nikakoto was always known for being the large mukbang YouTuber that had mental outbursts. I could never figure out if he was acting or not. Well, clearly he did a magic trick here. He went from being the fattest to the skinniest YouTuber. Turns out it was a show, just a dream. This is the rematch that the world deserved. Trump agrees to face off against Harris for a round 2 of the debate, sans Sleepy Joe. Let's just say Trump got cooked inside out. Harris was like a stot and broke down Trump's defense. Soon Trump was being the incoherent one claiming that the Haitians are eating the dogs and cats. Of course, Twitter had a feast over this. P. Diddy is now on the rise. Allegations have surfaced that Diddy used baby oil to do the deed. Apparently, the lotion isn't strong enough. He needed that maximum efficiency. I hope you guys aren't following his example. Yep. The people get what the people want. Brazil couldn't survive getting rid of X for a couple of months. And now the true Twitter is back in business in Brazil. Now, was that really a surprise? And another artist. The Weeknd somehow beat his previous records of 100 million monthly listeners on Spotify by 20 million. His new releases Timeless and Dancing in the Flames helped to propel him towards the goal. Congrats, man. Elon Musk is back trying to obtain the future. He hosts an event that shows the Cybercab, a taxi that self-drives anyone to their desired destination. Yeah, crazy. The Robovan will follow that production, driving 20 people anywhere they want. Tesla also shows humanoid robots that mix drinks. Abu Dhabi is again crowned the richest city in the world. Abu Dhabi has a capital of $1.7 trillion. It has Etihad, Adports and G42, and many more companies to boost its assets. I'm not surprised since their police force consists of Lambos, McLarens, and other sports cars. I think Putin has lost his mind. He fined Google 20 decillion, yes 35 zeros, for blocking 17 Russian channels on YouTube, due to the Ukraine crisis. It's rather dumb since the world's economy is estimated at 110 trillion, not even close to the demanded sum. Quite impossible. Russia might just have to stick with Vimeo. Somehow Apple released their iPhone 16 lineup that looks the same as last year, but with AI that it didn't even sum with. And still, Apple reached its $2 trillion worth of iPhone sales. With a $46 billion increase this quarter. Yeah, goes to show the lengths people will go to get the same product every year. I do the exact same thing. This one was an actual shocker. Everybody and their grandmothers were hyping up this election, for Trump to win in a landslide. The end numbers 226 to 312 pale into comparison when Trump hit 270 electoral votes. Harris barely got 100. We officially made history. The first criminal president. Okay. This one hurt. The legendary producer Quincy Jones dies at 91. If you don't know who that is, shame on you. He produced music for MJ, Frank Sinatra, Aretha Franklin, Ray Charles, Nat King Cole, and many others. He helped spearhead the whole USA for Africa thing way back when. This was unpredictable. Y'all people who dabbled in the crypto world finally got some return. For the first time ever, the value of Bitcoin reached $100,000. Hopefully you sold it as soon as you saw the numbers. We are up, my boys. This has got to be the most underrated event of this year. The controversial problem child versus the aging holy ear eater. My thought were Tyson should have just stayed in retirement to preserve his image. He up and got destroyed and crushed the dream of some kid. Way to go, Tyson. I mean, at least you got some cash. The Oxford Dictionary releases its word of the year. Now, are any of you guys surprised? With all of that Riz Party thing at the beginning of the year, and the junk on my For You page, anyone could have saw this coming. Well, congratulations, the next generation is doomed. This one is a bit more wholesome. The astounding Notre Dame Cathedral in France finally reopens after major reconstruction due to fire. Lots of world leaders came together to honor this place. There was even an event where renowned cellist Yo-Yo Ma played. Some incredible stuff to end the year. Taylor Swift is back. Finally, after something like 21 months of touring, Swift finished her Eras tour that captivated her music throughout the eras of her lifetime as a songstress. She made a whopping $2 billion from ticket sales and $1.4 billion in merchandise. I mean, I sort of figured that one out since 90% of my class is back in school. Congrats, I guess. My boy Elon is here again to make history. He is the first person in the world to hit over $400 billion in net worth. That is insane. That's more than the Mansa Musa guy in Africa that laid streets of gold. To put that into perspective, you people who WORL minimum wage at 7.25 an hour. It would take 6.7 million years to hit that much. Y'all boys know I couldn't end of year without mentioning this crime. The United Healthcare CEO got pew-pewed in front of a hotel.
The suspect approached from behind and fired several rounds.
Apparently, the gunman waited for about 5 minutes for Thompson to arrive at the Hilton Hotel on West 54th Street and 6th Avenue.
He was supposed to be known as a hard-working man, but Twitter has been clowning on him and portraying the killer as a hero. It's just meme central at this point. My boy got straight disrespected. Well, rip.